Good morning, guys. Snake here, and today is Friday. There wasn't enough yard sales. There was actually only one, to be a little bit more exact, yard sale out there this morning, and I felt that it wasn't really beneficial for me to spend the time, get ready, and go through the whole rigmarole for one yard sale. So instead, today we're going to talk about some very disappointing news pertaining to PayPal and also eBay. That sale just got snake bit. We're going to start off with PayPal, and those of you who do business with PayPal, you may have already received this information in your email. And I received this. Now, this is something that I've actually heard was going to happen for quite a few weeks now, maybe a little over a month. And, I was really hoping that PayPal would change their mind and not go through with this change, but apparently they feel that it was a good idea. Very, very disappointed. Sellers, yeah, I don't even know what to say. This is not good news for sellers. Buyers, I would hope that you guys take this into consideration as well when it comes to PayPal. But I'm sure you guys have started reading this already. So it says, "Dear Josh, earlier this year, we notified you that we're updating our user agreement to change our refund policy. We want to let you know that the policy change is going into effect beginning on October 11th, 2019. I'm not going to read all of this. I'm only going to read the important part. In line with industry practice and according to our updated policy, we will not charge a fee to process refunds, but the fees from the original transaction will not be returned." So, in line with industry practice is a lie, unless they're only referring to the fact that we will not charge a fee to process refunds. That is according to industry practice, in line with industry practice. The but part is absolutely not. So what this is saying is that if you offer returns on eBay, free returns or any returns, it doesn't matter, and then you issue your buyer a refund, they are keeping all the initial fees for that transaction. Now, it used to be that, if I remember correctly, don't quote me on this, but this is what I understood in the past. It's been a long time since they changed this. Was that they would keep their 30 cents. So the way PayPal works, if you don't already know, they charge you 30 cents per transaction plus a 2.9%. Plus 2.9%. All right, so we have Notepad pulled up here. So we're just going to go over an example, a visual of what this policy looks like. All right, so let's just say you sold an item for $1,000. Okay, now obviously most transactions are not $1,000, but I wanted to give you just a visual of a higher level sale, and you can basically determine for yourself how much this would impact your business. Now, most businesses will see this as a huge impact. I see it as a huge impact. And even if you're selling items, I don't even know how many items you're selling, 30, 40 items a day or 10 items a day, whatever the case may be, and you're offering refunds, and they're only like $20 items, but you get 20% of that back per month that you have to, do returns on. Well, you basically just lost a ton of money here based on this policy. So let me just go ahead and go through this. So $1,000 times 2.9%, we know is equals, what is that, $29? Yep, $29. Okay, plus your 30% or 30 cents. Equals 29.30. All right. So that's $29.30 that you're not going to get back just because your customer did not like an item and you offer returns. That's gone. That's money that's completely gone from your profit margin on this particular item. Okay. So now you have to consider this when relisting this item, because your original profit margin is no longer there. Okay, so again, just to give you a visual, and this is why I'm using easy numbers, so you guys can probably see this already without even having to do this. What is that? 970. 70? Yeah, because 30 cents plus was 1 plus 29. Yep. Okay. So there you go. Now, this item only has the potential of bringing you $970.70. Now you have obviously you have to consider what your cost was and things to that effect, and then also eBay's fees and whatnot. So this is really bad and very disappointing. The thing that really bothers me about this is that there are other companies out there that are not charging these fees. I don't understand why PayPal is not only lying about the fact that there's other platforms out there like PayPal that also have this industry standard. That's not true. I believe one that doesn't have it. All right, so the one company that is not doing this that I'm sort of familiar with is Chase Payment Tech. Okay, so if you're not familiar with Chase Payment Tech, you can look them up on your own time, whatever, and you'll see that they do not have this particular charge. And there's many others as well that are out there that don't have this particular charge. They're basically going to keep your money for refunded items, or keep their charges for refunded items or refunded costs. It makes absolutely no sense, and it's a complete ripoff. I plan on calling eBay later on to see what their plan is to negate this issue, because they push free returns on their site and even give you a penny on the dollar, which is not much of a savings for any sale that you have as a top-rated seller and have the top-rated seller badge on any particular item that you're selling. So they give you a 10% off of your 10% charge, which is a penny for, a penny per dollar for the transaction or for the sale. But anyway, to see what they're doing in order to combat that, because they're pushing free returns while PayPal is saying, oh yeah, we're going to go ahead and make a ton of profit off of this, off of these refunds that eBay is pushing. Now, I'm not really saying that this is going hand in hand or they're working together. They used to be the same company, I believe, and they separated a little while back. But eBay was supposed to also be putting in their own payment processing platform in place to work so that eBay was basically a one-stop shop, meaning that they handled the sale from start to finish, refunds, money, the whole transaction, excluding PayPal from the equation. Now more than ever, we need to see that happening, because this is not good news. This is not good. Not good at all. Now that brings me to the issue with eBay. So I don't have information on this to show you, but I want to make you guys aware of this, and you can start researching on your own. What eBay is doing is they are, for those of you who use promoted listings, they're putting in a policy or a change in their search structure to where they're taking you, if those of you who use the promoted listings will be promoted, but then taking you off of their organic search, meaning that the only way you're going to be seen with a promoted listing is on that promoted listing. So what this means is that you're guaranteed to pay that promoted listing cost. So whatever percentage you're doing that promoted listing on, you're guaranteed to pay that, because that is the only way that you're going to sell that item, which is not good. Just to clarify, if the way it should work is that you have a promoted listing and it's going to show at the top of the page. Now, if someone clicks on, I don't know, let's say sort by lowest to highest, or they put in almost the exact listing name, you're not going to come up organically. That is ensuring that eBay is going to get the cost or the percentage that they would get when someone clicks on that promoted listing and makes the purchase. By taking you off of their organic search means that you don't have the possibility of selling that item organically or without that promoted listing cost, which is really not good. I just don't understand why businesses they're to take advantage of the people who are making them their money in the first place. And that goes for buyers and sellers. I'm not just talking about sellers. That goes for buyers and sellers. You make enough money. Both companies, PayPal has been doubling their revenue, their profit. I wouldn't say year over year, but there was a span there where they went from, a couple 100,000 a year to then a couple million a year, then to a couple billion. And then, it just keeps rising. Their profit is already rising. There's no need for this. There's no need for PayPal to gouge us or take advantage of us in this way. They're already making money and they continue to be profitable year over year. Same as PayPal or same as eBay. Same thing. There's no reason for them to put this little algorithm in their search engine that guarantees them this promoted listing, this extra promoted listing percentage for the sale. It's not right. It's I think it's a very underhanded type of thievery, if you will. So I implore you guys to really monitor this for yourselves. If you guys are doing promoted listings, start monitoring the fact that, or whether or not your item is showing up as a promoted listing as well as an organic listing. Okay. From what I understand is that it's slowly being rolled out now. So you might be able to see a lot of your promoted listings listed both ways now, but the policy changes are supposed to be coming into effect in October as well, to where they're slowly and inevitably rolling it out to where you will only see your promoted listing as a promoted listing. So not good news here today, guys. And you know, I am going to be looking to get away from PayPal altogether, if possible. You know, unfortunately, when it comes to eBay, you know, they just have to be aware of it and help us as sellers combat against this. You know, because this also can translate to the customer as well. You know, because sellers can't absorb this type of risk. You know, you just can't. And no matter how big or small you are, that's going to be translated to the consumer, because what we're going to have to do is implement the possibility of this cost into our sales price. Those who are smart business owners anyway, you know, and if you're a small business owner, you need to look at this as well. This is not something that is good for any size business, except for PayPal, of course. Yeah, so, you know, again, this will translate over the consumer. If you're a smart business owner, you really need to start implementing this into your cost immediately, because, you know, October 11th is around the corner, and so that you can absorb that cost, or so that you don't absorb that cost, I should say. And unfortunately, the consumer would have to, you know, cover that, unless you're willing to take a loss compared to, let's say, last year, or, you know, whatever the case may be, a loss on your profit margin. This has to be, you know, considered and looked at. Yeah, and same thing with eBay. eBay's decision is only impacting the seller. They're basically taking money from the seller. The buyer pays the same exact thing, because the seller is the one making the conscious decision to pay the extra 2% or 3% or 5% in order to have that listing promoted. So they're willing to pay that amount. The only issue, again, is being that once you do that, you're guaranteed to pay that amount. I would recommend, if you have the possibility of moving away from PayPal, doing that immediately. And if you are doing promoted listings on eBay, I would recommend to stop immediately. Okay. That's what both of these companies are doing is not right. It's not fair, and it will impact all of us, including them. Anyway, I'm done rambling, guys. I hope you get some wonderful information from this, and I hope that you make the right decision for yourself on how to move forward, and also make sure to do your own research on this. Okay. All right, I wish I had some better news for you guys today, but I do not. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Get snake bit.